Hello. Um, kind of off the cuff. I have a script here though, but yeah, basically this is going to be covering how to change the name of a card in neon white. I mean, you can change anything else pretty much, but I'm only going to be covering cards, so everything else is uncharted territory. To start, you will need these three files, excluding this. You'll need these three right here. UABE or Unity Asset Bundle Extractor. You'll need Asset Studio, and you'll need. This is a note from after the fact. You do not need Asset Studio at all for this editing. HxD, the Hex Editor. Now, all three of these will be linked in the description below, so you can easily go down there and download them. The links should work. I mean, it's gonna be the stuff that I use, so yeah. And then this right here is just a shortcut to my neon white data, so that's easy pasting. Now, to start first though, you want to navigate to your neon white data, and you want to make a copy. You want to scroll down and make a copy of your resources.assets. You won't have a .bak file. Actually, I can just delete this. It's from other editing stuff. But yeah, just the assets. Just go ahead and Control C or right click and copy, and then go ahead and put it in a folder where you know it will be the original one. So I'll just name mine original resources file, and I'll paste it in here. The resources is the heftiest one, so we'll take a second. Yeah, okay. And then but I mean, if you want to go solo and not do this, at the end you can go ahead and verify your game data through Steam, and it'll replace all your file. It'll replace like all edited files. So if you have other stuff like card packs or anything, it will replace those too. So it's better just to make a backup. So now you're gonna want to open UABE, and you're gonna go to File, Open, and then you're gonna go to the original your file, your folder, and double click here, and now what we're going to do is find the file that we're going to edit. So for us it's going to be it's going to go view, search by name, and then it's going to be capital I, the number 2, and then languages. Now it's not case sensitive, but just in case you want to be. It'll be down, the down setting, and click OK. Now see here, it should be the first one right here. It should autofill the name, languages, the path ID, everything. Now all you're going to do is click export raw. And I also recommend putting this in its own folder. So I'm going to put languages folder, click in there, and then you can just save it as this name, but you can change it, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and then once that, you can close UABE, and what you're going to go ahead and do is then open up HxD, and you're going to go to File, Open, and now you're going to locate that I2Languages file, open it to double click, or just click it and click OK, and now you'll see that it should load up. Now the first thing we're going to do, because it looks very confusing, click View, Byte Group Size, and click 4. Now you'll see, now it'll like group them together. This is going to be perfect. So now at this point, you're going to do Control F, or you can do Search, Find. But I prefer Control F. And if you have a specific card that you just want to edit, you can do discard. It needs to be all caps. Discard underscore and then the card name. So elevate, dominion, anything, fireball, purify. But for me, I recommend doing discard underscore, search direction all, and clicking search all. Now you'll see here at the bottom, it'll have all of them. You can ignore these tutorial ones because it just doesn't matter. We want these interface ones. Now these interface ones, they are all named. You can see there's Ammo, Book of Life, Dominion, Elevate. I'm not sure what Expel is, but there's Fireball, Godspeed, Health, and Purify, and Stomp. Now, to go to one of these, say you want to go to Dominion, then all you do is double click it right here, and you'll see that it'll bring you to it and it'll highlight it. Now, something to explain is that for English, the card will be this one. I'm only going to be covering English, but it should work with any other of these languages as long as you follow like the editing. But I'm going to be editing the first one here. So, um, yeah. So, okay. So something to explain is that I'm going to be referring to these. You see over here on the left that I'm highlighting these full like lines. I'm going to be referring to these as blocks. Now, every 2 digits, like this, you can see you can only highlight by 2 digits. You can't highlight by one. So every highlight is a byte. So this is 1 byte, 2 byte, 3 bytes, and 4 bytes. So 4 bytes make up a block. Yeah, so just to clarify, I will be referring to these, a full highlighted, as a block versus 2 digits as a byte. Um, so yeah, I hope that doesn't confuse many people. Now, from here it depends. So you can see over here. So you can see when I highlight this on the left side, this is highlighting what the text is. So you see if I highlight these 2 blocks, it's Dominion, and you see the block beforehand is like blank, right? These zeros mean nothing really. Now, the 8 here is what dictates the length of the card name. So for example, this one you can see is set to a 08, or over here on the top right, you can see if you select the byte, it will say up here the value, 8. Now 8 refers to the length. So Dominion is 8. Now, say you set it to something like I don't know, Dominion S. Then you have to change this to 9. We'll get into that in a little bit. But something I want to explain first is that if you are changing the card name to the same amount of letters or less, then you do not need to edit this number. And just to clarify, this number will always be the 4th byte before the word. You can see right here, if you look at the right side, it's highlighting that period. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th byte in the block. So it will always be this one. Ignore this 11, it does not matter for us. It's only this 8 in the block before the word. Now, okay, so for Dominion, right, say you are setting the name of Dominion to the same amount of characters, another 8-character word. So something like gripping, right? You'll see right there. As you type, it makes it red. So you know what you're editing. Now you can see here the I didn't change because the I is the same spot as Dominion. So it's like, well, it's the same character, so it's not going to change because, same data. But yeah, so gripping, for example, if you are setting the name to the equal amount of characters, then that's all you need to do. You need to click right here before the word and type it. Now I'm going to go back again and show you. You're going to click before the word and just start typing. And it should line up. You see my G lined up there and my thing went down here. If this is all you want, say this is all you want for Dominion, then great. You can go ahead and skip ahead and go to this how to save this file. Now, so now if you're setting the name to something less than the amount of characters, so Dominion is 8 characters. If you're setting it to something like neon, the neon is only 4 characters. So what you're gonna do for that is you're gonna fill the rest of the letters with spaces. So basically, look, if I type neon, you can see it's replaced that. But now I have these words, right? I don't want neon in my card. So all you're gonna do is hit space for every character. So the N is gone, the I is gone, the O is gone, and the N is gone. And you can see it's gone again. Now it's back down to the next row. So, because each space counts as a character. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total. And so basically you're just matching the character amount to the amount here, right? 8. And with that, go ahead and you can save the file, and yeah, that'll be in a little bit. Now, if you are setting the uh, the name longer than the original name, this is where we're going to get a little bit more in depth. So say you want to change Dominion to neon white, right? Well, first, you need to change this, right? You need to change the 8 to the correct amount of characters. Now remember, a space counts as a character. So for neon white, that's going to be 10 total, not 9. It's going to be 10. Neon space white. Now if you do neon white with no spaces, that's going to be 9. But a space will count. So that's where you need to change that. Now, let me go ahead and get the site up, but there is a site that will help with identifying what letters go with what, or sorry, what digits go with the for the number. I'll show you right now. Again, let me get the link real quick. Uh, all right, I got it over here. So you see right here that you can see right here the deck or the decimal is the number, right? So for example, for neon white, again, neon white would be 10 characters total. So we need to find 10 on here, which you can see is right here, 10, and you can see HX, the HX column, it shows what it is. It's A. So for us, what we're going to go do is we're going to go in here, we're going to find the 8, and again, to make sure you're editing the right byte, you can look up here. You see if I click in these zeros, it's 0. But if you click here, now it changes to 8. So what we're going to do is click before this at the start of the block, and you can see since it's just A, it's not 2, it's just A. What we're going to do is fill the number before it with 0. You see how this is 0, 8? Because for 8, it's just 8. But you need something before it. So for us, we're going to do 0A. And you can see if we click on it again, 10. The value has changed to 10. And you can see it's red to tell you this is edited. So don't mind that it's red. It just is telling you that it stands out, that you can see what you're changing. So now what we're going to go do is go to Dominion, and we're going to type our word. So for us it's neon space white. Now I should note something beforehand. You want to highlight the whole word that you are changing, right? So for me it's Dominion. And you can see here on the left side it's 2 blocks, right? It's one block. You can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4 bytes that make up one block, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4 to make up a second block, 2 blocks. Now what we're gonna do is neon white. So neon, and you can see here on the left side, pay attention to the left side here, these 2 blocks. They'll change red as I type. Neon space, sorry, it's neon space white. And now you can see, it's bled. I'll refer to it as bleeding, but it's gone into an extra block, right? Because Dominion was only these 2 blocks, but our word has entered a new block. So now we need to make up for this, essentially. We need to add a blank block of bytes to, like, how do I say this? Like, level out the whole file, basically, to make it happy. So what you're going to do is, if it bleeds, and the amount of blocks we need to add is dependent on how many blocks your word went into. So for these 2, it doesn't matter, because these 2 were already Dominion. But you can see, since we blend into this third block, since it's 1 block extra, right, then we need to add 1 blank block. But say that you happen to bleed into 2 blocks, well, now we need to add 2 blank blocks, right? So say I did neon white space awesome, right? Well, you see now we have these 2 original blocks, right, from Dominion, but now we've bled into 3 blocks. So now we need to add 3 blocks of blank. Okay, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So we've bled into an extra block. So what you're gonna do is click the next block, the start of the next block, go up to Edit, Insert Bytes, byte count. You want to set this to 4, because remember, there's 4 bytes to 1 block. So 4 bytes, set it to hex, and the hex values are just going to be 0, 0. It's going to be blank. And all you're going to do is click OK. And you'll see here, it's added a new block, and it's pushed all the rest down, or all the rest over 1. It's added this block. But again, if we did neon white awesome and we needed 3 blocks because we bled into 3 extra blocks, you would just repeat this. You go to Edit, Insert Bytes, byte count 4. Now, if you're doing more blocks, you could probably put the byte count up. If you're doing, remember, each block is 4. So if you're doing 2 extra blocks, you can do 8. Or if you're doing 3 extra blocks, you can do 12. And again, hex, 0, and OK. But I'm not going to do that because I don't need it. And at this point, you should be good. You've set the length, right? The length of the word is 10. Neon, space, white, all of that counts as 10. Then you have the actual word here, right? And again, it's bled into 1. So it's bled into 1 block. So you add a new, fresh block to level out the system. And this should be it. Now this is rinse and repeat for the rest of them. And I'll go ahead and show you. So like, again, if we want elevate, just double click it and you'll see it brings you to elevate. And again, it applies. If it's the same amount of characters, you just type and it should match. If it's less, then you just type and space the rest. Like sus and then space, 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 space. Right? And if you want to make sure that you're like going all the way, you can highlight the word and you can see here it goes to 6.5, right? So if you do this, sus, and look on the left side, space, space, space. Now see the little rectangle? It's around 65, so space. You've edited it. And at this point, you can save it if it's less. But again, if it's longer, this is where we need to go over here to the first byte in the block, and you see it's 7 for elevate. And if it's, again, if you want to do something like, I don't know, elephant, that matched. Elephant with 3 T's, right? So again, we have set this to 3 extra characters. Or sorry, 2 extra characters. Wait, no. Yeah, no, 3. 3 extra characters. So we need to go to 7 and add 3. Now for these smaller numbers, it's pretty like just the number, but I recommend you check anyway. So 7 plus 3. So we're going to be looking for 10. So 10 again is A. So you should go here and click 0 because it's a blank A. And again, click in it and you'll see the value has changed to 10. And then yeah, elephant. And then again, if you look, elevate was over here. So we have bled into this block. You see these 2 T's. These 2 T's have bled. So this is again where we go to the next block, the start of the next block, edit, insert bytes, 4 bytes to a block, so 4 of them to make a block, hex values blank and byte and the type hex. Okay, boom, it's added it. Now say this is it, right? You're done. This is all you wanted, and you're ready. You'll go to File, Save, and you'll see it'll all turn gray because now it's applied. You can no longer Control Z. You can't whatever. You cannot control Z because it won't. Like you see I'm clicking right now, it won't because it's saved. This is the base file now. At this point you can close HxD and you can go back, and now what you need to do is you need to go back to UABE, open it, file, open, and again we're going to open the same resources backup. And you'll see why in a minute. Open, go here, and again do the same search. Search by I2Languages. It'll go. Now instead of clicking export raw, you're going to import raw. Import raw. Now this BAK file was made from HxD. It's a backup file. You don't need this. It's a backup just in case your computer exploded or crashed or blue screened or whatever. You can go ahead and delete this. It's not vital. Now, you want to click on your edited file, right? The I2Languages that we just edited, and open. And now you'll see, if you click modified and you scroll all the way to the top, this star means that this has been edited. It's a new file. At this point, you can click file, apply and save all, and you don't want to edit this file. It won't even let you. But what you want to do is you want to go back to your file, your folder where you're containing all of this, create a new folder, call it edited resources file or something along those lines. So then you know that will be the resources edited file. Open it, and you want to save it as resources.assets, and you'll save. Now at this point, UABE will stop responding for a little bit. Let it. Don't force close it. Don't do nothing. You'll see it's back now, right? It's highlighting all of my buttons. You can go ahead and close it. Now, at this point, you should be able to go into your edited resources file and copy it and go into your neon white data and replace it. And now, if we go into our library, neon white, and open it, and my load up screen will be different because I have like plugins and stuff on it. Don't worry about that. You don't need any of that. It's just there. So yeah, we'll go ahead and see what it's like. Again, this is part of one of my plugin things, so you probably shouldn't be seeing this, and if you are, then you know what it's for. And your game might take a minute to load up, honestly, because it's like reading that new file. It's scanning it, and it's like, oh wait, there's new stuff in here. Let's see what this is. It always happened to me too. It always takes a minute when it first is opening. But I don't think it should take that long on like new launches, unless you've edited the resource file again. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn off my thing.
We're called neons.
Ow. Thank you, Steve Blum. I know you are called neons. And now at this point, you can go ahead and test anywhere, level rush or on a map. I prefer a map, but it doesn't really matter. Just go to a map. So we edited Dominion and we edited Elevate, I believe. So we'll go ahead and head to Cascade and we'll see what's up. And don't mind the pack, sorry, that's my pack. But you'll see here, boom, elephant. And you'll see here, it even changes on the shops. Elephant. So awesome. You've done it. Congrats. Now again, we'll go and check Dominion real quick just to be sure. But I mean, obviously, if that worked and if there was no crash and it worked, then Dominion should have worked. But let's go to a Benediction, Heaven's Edge, and you'll see neon space white. You see, and it's even in the font and all. Like it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I'll have download links to all the resources I used, and I might also include my script / instructions, because I basically just followed all of those. that should be it. I mean, you've done it. Congratulations on editing a neon white card. I mean, if this gets good feedback, I might cover things like changing images, such as, you know, the bottom left or my cards, um, or even changing audio files. But there is already a video that I followed for that, which I would recommend that instead. But yeah, I might make one for neon white just so people can understand, you know, the lingo. But yeah, thank you guys, and have a great day, great night, great afternoon, great morning. Adios.